Peace, 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 peace. Get everything connected here real quick. All right, we should be good there. All right, we should be good. We should be good everywhere. All right, cool. So let's see here. All right, trying something new here. Um, so I'm actually live on 3 different social media platforms. I'm live on my YouTube. I'm also live on Facebook, and I'm live on Instagram. What I'm trying to do, or what I'm doing, is effectively using all of the platforms together so that I don't have to continue to constantly go live on a bunch of different social media platforms at the same time all the time. Greetings, how you doing? Um, so if you have Instagram, follow me on that at astrology, raw_truth astrology underscore. And if you're on Facebook, it's Ramiel L. Bay. If you have a YouTube, follow my YouTube channel at Raw Speaks. So I'm doing this thing where for the next 90 days, every day I'm going live about different topics and subjects. We'll be doing the moon transits. We'll be doing numerous different subjects. Throughout the 90 days, because I want to go ahead and build out all the social media platforms I have. So I would appreciate it if you have TikTok, if you have Instagram, if you have Twitter, because I'm on there as RAH Speaks on Twitter. TikTok, same thing. Follow me, help a brother out, just by doing that. I'm trying to go live on TikTok, but I haven't built that platform out. And they say that you can't go live on TikTok until you have, I think it's 1,000 subscribers to your channel. So I don't have that yet, so I'm not live on there. All right, so let's jump into this. We actually got a pretty good amount of people who are on already. Hey, how you doing, sis? Hi, Angela. Um, Thanks for tuning in via YouTube. So, as everyone knows, or has seen me do, I talk about the moon transits as they happen. So today's moon is in Gemini. So it actually has been in Gemini for the last couple of days. I just didn't get a chance to get on and do this yesterday. Hey, Sister Sean, how you doing? Um, so I want everyone, if go to Grupo Venus. I'm gonna type this in where I can, Venus.com, and you can get your natal chart on there. And if you've been on there before, you can go to the daily horoscope or whatever reading or a place on there where it'll talk to you about that. And you can see your transit. What I want you to do is tell me, where is your transit? Where is your transit at? What house? Peace, Cicely. How you doing? What is the house that is transiting in? Because as the moon moves every 2.5 days. So every 2.5 days, there's a change of focus from an emotional standpoint. And then based on where the sun is at, because right now we're in Taurus, sun is in Taurus. And so you have a semi-sextile between the transits right now. So the sun is in Taurus, while the moon right now is transiting Gemini. So because of that, that's a semi-sextile, meaning that they're one sign apart, which means that they're different elements. You have an Earth and a air sign there. But as the moon transits, your day-to-day moods, your vibe, all those things, it changes. The house it's in tells you the center point or focus for you for the next few days. And then, as I tell everyone, if you follow the moon transits, you'll actually be able to see how your not only your mood, but your focus throughout the month changes. And you can see how current events actually start to come about if you follow these transits, because as it transits, it also transits the house. And that house is giving is the area of focus, okay, that you're going to be in for that particular day or next couple of days. Okay, it'll stay in the house usually about a day and a half, and then it'll go on to another house for the most part. So you will wake up on a Tuesday, see that you're in house one, and on Wednesday, Thursday, you'll be in house two, and you'll continue to do that as the moon moves, as you know, as it phases out. But the moon covers your emotional body. Now, this in the transit in just your natal chart, okay, the moon is a the place where you find your emotional intelligence, how you deal with emotions. Greetings, Leo Queen. How you doing? Um, your emotional intelligence. You'll find that there. Um, where are you at? How do you deal with love? Um, how do you deal with that? How you doing, Sister Tina? I think I'm pronouncing it right. Tanae, maybe it's Tanae. Um, but how do you deal with love? How do you deal with joy? Right? That's what that moon tells you in your natal chart. Your emotional intelligence. Where are you at on the ladder? Are you very abrupt or very forward, um, prone to anger? Like a moon in Aries. Usually there can be anger issues there. Are you manipulative, deceitful, very black and white? Like Moon in Scorpio tends to have those issues. Are you controlling? Not very emotionally based, kind of emotionally distant, like a Capricorn moon. All those things are governed within the moon. So understanding your moon becomes important. Well, as the transits go, as the moon transits on a daily basis, it not only has an effect on your natal moon because it can go into aspects that put you in conflict, right? So if your natal moon, let's say, is in Taurus, but then the moon transit, let's say, is going through Aquarius. Okay, well, those are different elements. You have an air, and then you have an earth, and that's considered a square. And so now that puts you in a different mood when you wake up, right? You're normally more stable, kind of um, steady. You tend to emotionally stay put. You don't really like change much, right? That's that moon in Taurus feel. But now because it's transiting through Aries, now that's that feeling of needing to move, wanting to break free, right? You want to ditch some of those Taurus habits. You may have been in a relationship far too long, and now that moon is transiting through Aquarius, and it's got you feeling like you want to break loose, you want to get out, right? And so it puts you at odds with how you normally do things, and that can become problematic. So understanding how that transit is affecting you. So if you know what house that the website, let me put it in here, is Grupo Venus, GRUPOVENUS .com. And you can go on there, and you can get your information. If you put your information, whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, put your information in, I'll see it. And then I'll give you, a breakdown of what's going on with you today, and, a small breakdown on what's coming up for you next. But I need to know what house you're transiting in. Okay. So once I know the house, the moon transit is already in Gemini. So we got that part, but I need to know, where is your house placement? Once I know that, then I can give you some information. Okay. So, like for instance, mine is transiting. Let me see if I remember correctly. It's in house 11. That should be transiting. Let me look here. Yeah, resubmit. Yes, yeah. Mine is transiting through house 11, right? So when it's going through house 11, okay, this is website is tripping. Probably because I got so many mean things streaming. But as it transits through house 11, this is that time period where even with me, transiting through house 11. So for me, this becomes a good time to get out to talk to groups, doing what I'm doing now. This makes it a better time. So house 11 deals with groups. It deals with doing your own thing. It deals with, within Gemini is dealing with communication. So communicating to large groups, right? Carrying a message to large groups. So this is where my focus becomes, right? So because of that, even now with me doing the lives and things like that, it becomes a good time for me to do it. It becomes a good time for me to add my voice to the group. Okay, Sakara, so yours is in the 5th house. Okay, so moon transit, and this is your transit, right? Not your natal, okay, but your transit. So moon is in my 1st house, Gemini. Okay, so 1st house. So, wow, this is a place where, right now you're feeling the need to express yourself. Okay. Okay. Got you, Shona. Got you next. So you feeling that need to express yourself right now, Sakira. So there's probably something that's been going on. If you're in house 1 now, that means that you just left house 12. So you may have been, okay, got you today. Um, hey, Ronette, how you doing? So if if you're leaving house 12, that meant that something just came to an end with you, Kyra. So there, and if it's in Gemini, you would have probably been in Taurus house 12. So something that you had been holding on to, um, you just broke free from over the last couple of days. Something more than likely came to an end. And right now, with the moon going into Gemini, into the 1st house, now you're feeling the need to express yourself for something new, to place your thoughts and your emotions. You're looking for a place to put your thoughts, and you're wanting to express yourself now. So whatever it is that you're breaking free from, this now, that 1st house is telling you to go for it. It's the house run by Aries, the spark. So now you're looking for new inspiration and things like that. And so this is where it's happening. Depending on where the other placements are at, and how it's transitioning for you through them. I don't know what you just left, but now you're looking for inspiration. So this is a good time to study. Look at some. Get into some new books. Put your mind somewhere else, and develop your thoughts, your intellect, and that's going to give you the emotional peace and balance that you need right now. Okay, so you said 9th house. Okay, so Moon Gemini going into the 9th house. Have you been shown? Have you been thinking about going back to school, or looking into something new? Has that been on your mind here lately? Because that 9th house is dealing with higher education. Or have you been thinking about traveling? Have you been doing research on traveling to a foreign country, or another destination? Something's going on either with travel or in the departments of education with your research. What's been going on, with that shoulder? Just type it in, because you're on Instagram. Type it in for me and tell me. And while I'm waiting on hers, tonight, yours is in the 7th house. Okay, so the 7th house is dealing with relationships. So there may be something going on, or focus, or you've been thinking about relationships over the last couple of days. When it was in Taurus, more likely you were in house 6, which, okay, look at that. So you just started a herbal certification. Yes, that makes sense. That's what's up, Shona. You're going in a good direction. Keep going there. This is a good. The next couple of days is a good time to really dive deep into that research, Shona. So tonight, so relationships, seventh house, dealing with relationships. Um, you're coming away from Taurus, the moon transit in Taurus being in house 6. So something was going on where you probably was given a lot of attention to serving someone, taking care of someone over the last couple of days. And if it was in Taurus within the sixth house, now moving into Gemini seventh house, there may be you starting to question some things about this relationship. Your mind is centered on this relationship and whether it may be about whether it's worth it. You may be feeling good. I don't know. But something happened um, over the last few days with a relationship, more than likely, where maybe you were serving someone and now you gave a lot to them and now you're starting to question, possibly question whether that relationship is a good one for you, whether you should stay, whatever it is. Your emotions, the mental side of your emotions is focused on this relationship. If you type in and tell me what's going on, I can give you a little bit more insight tonight. Let me check YouTube while I'm doing that. Okay, so no questions on YouTube. Um, so yeah, with that seventh house though, there is a focus on relationships right now and questioning a relationship. Now, the seventh house also deals with partnerships. Not always. Okay, she said, okay, I've been going back and forth with a person. Was there something that happened over the last couple of days where you really put some energy into that relationship, doing something for that person, um, or did over the last couple of days did you cook for that person? Um, with that Taurus being in the sixth house, there's something usually an act of service that was taking place over the last couple of days, and it may be something now where you're feeling like questioning whether it's worth it. Like you said, you're going back and forth with it. Um, but that's where you're headed. And when you leave the seventh house, you're going to move into the eighth house. Okay, and so we're going to go into Cancer. When we leave Gemini in the seventh, you're going to go into Cancer in the eighth house. Okay. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. So you said, but you start going to the gym together. Okay, that makes sense because the sixth house deals with nutrition, health, fitness, and things like that. Um, So okay, so that's good. So it's a positive thing that took place, but you are kind of questioning it. When Cancer comes up, which is tomorrow, is going to come up in the eighth house for you. That eighth house deals with destruction and death, sex, and things like that. And I'll be back on tomorrow talking about it. So make sure to tune in so I can give you the information because that can end up being a transition within that relationship that happens tomorrow, right? And it could be a positive or it could be a negative. So when you come on tomorrow, um, we'll talk more about it. Let's see who else we got. Okay, there, and then let me see here. I'm forgetting I don't have to go back on YouTube because my YouTube, I'm sharing my screen from YouTube so I can actually just look on here and see it. So let me see. Did anybody else put anything else up on here? If you know the house that is transiting, let me know. You know, put your house on here, the house that the moon is transiting, and I'll give you, the information about what's going on. I'll be back on because tomorrow we're going to be doing moon in Cancer. Okay, and that moon in Cancer, when it goes into Cancer, is going to change the focus. So right now, everyone, the moon is making you think there's a focus in a particular area where you're thinking about some things. Now, the things that you're thinking about are going to come to fruition. There's a point. There's something's going to happen tomorrow. So where you're at today, what happened the last couple of days, is bringing you to a point. And that's how the moon does throughout the whole month. It brings you to certain points of interest. Okay. And it'll make you focus on something. And you'll notice that when it goes into certain houses like house 8 and house 12, that usually is a transitioning time. Okay. So when you go through that transitioning time, it could be, something comes to an end in each one of the houses, right? There's a new beginning that can happen in either one of those 8 and 12 houses, right? So you have to know, uh, I should say, you have the ability to know where it's heading if you just pay attention to where you've been. And the houses are making you, it's almost like the moon takes you through a cleansing effect throughout the whole month. And it does it every single month. It does it. It makes you, takes you through a cleansing process. So wherever you start at house 1, if you follow it through, you're going to notice how, you ebb and flow and you peak as you go from 1 to 2, because 2 is now going to be dealing with your finances. It's going to be dealing with what you can prove, stability, your self-esteem, your 5 senses, things like that. And then you're going to move into, house 3, and then you go into how you think, your thoughts, your focus, research, communication. And then you go into house 4, and then house 4 is dealing with the foundation for all things, your domestic unit, sacrifice, security. In the house 5, and then it becomes all about yourself. I just came from house 4 where I'm me. Right. And then after that selfish part of it comes through, then you go back into wanting to serve others in house 6. And then house 7, now you're going into focusing on partnerships and things like that. So it'll move you all the way around, if you just pay attention to how the moon does it. What'd you say? You said your job? Let me see. Okay. Okay. So you've been your job. Did you start a new job, Sakira? Thank you. Thank you. So did you start a new job, Sakira? Is that what came to an end in House 12, and now you're looking to move towards something else? Because right now you are processing whatever happened a couple of days ago. You're processing your next move right now, and there's an anxiousness about it, but you have to stay calm. That House 1 energy can make you feel a little anxious, like, oh, now. Stay calm, think it through. Right now, your thoughts can be kind of all over the place in that house 1 because you're trying to figure it out, right? And then you're going to move into house 2. So I want you to pay attention to how house 2 is going to affect it. So make sure you tune back in tomorrow also, because when you go into Cancer, you're going to go into house 2, and you're going to end up being in house 3 in Cancer also. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So as it moves into that house 2 and house 3, this is where it can affect your finances. So we want to, deal with that, tomorrow. So I definitely, everyone tune in tomorrow as we move into Cancer. And then let me see, what is it? Uh, and then tune in. What is it? Tomorrow's Wednesday. Then tune in on Thursday, because on Thursday I'm going to start talking about esoteric astrology. Many people don't even know that there is a such thing as esoteric astrology. There are different sides to astrology. Most of the things that we talk about are the astrology that deals with the third dimension. Well, there's also astrology that deals with the ethereal plane, and understanding how your soul's evolution, right? And by understanding your soul's evolution, you also understand how you fail spiritually, which also helps you to understand how you need to get back up. And this is the esoteric side of it, right? And we're going to discuss that on um, Thursday. So make sure you tune in over the next couple of days, because we're going to go over some very interesting subjects. Like I said, I'm doing 90 days straight. Do me a favor, do me a solid. Um, Follow me on Facebook at Ramiel L. Bay, RAHME apostrophe EL space capital EL space capital BEY, Ramiel Bay. on Instagram. Follow me on that too. Ra, R-A-H underscore truth underscore astrology. TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Subscribe to your boy on there too as Ra Speaks. I appreciate it. We're going to do 90 days of solid videos pouring out information. All I ask is that, you subscribe to these channels. Help me build this thing out so I can get, this information out more. I appreciate it. And we're going to log off. Each time I come on is going to be about 30 minutes. But I'm going to start coming on at a set time every day, so everyone knows when to log in, and I'll be, posting it. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be 3 o'clock every day. I came on earlier today because I got to get out of here, but it's going to be 3 o'clock every day when I come on, and you'll be able to get, your moon transit done and learn, about a few different subjects. So thanks for joining in. I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday at 3 o'clock. No, yeah, 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. So 4 o'clock Eastern. What is that? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Pacific time, and then 2 o'clock. Yeah, I think that's all of them. So anyway, I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.